there anything to say?
I say go ahead. Go ahead and start. Yeah.
Well, hello everyone, and thank you for the opportunity letting us being here with you. My name is Sebastian Paz. I am 22 years old from Bolivia, District 4690. Well, here we are to show you the Global Grant Florida Samaipata Hospital, which is about an installation of an X-ray equipment to the Samaipata community. To justify this grant, let me tell you that the Florida province is located to the west of the Santa Cruz department, exactly 137 kilometers from the Santa Cruz de la Sierra city, with a population of 2.5 millions of people, which is the capital of the Santa Cruz department, and the Florida province having a total population of 38,000 inhabitants, which is made up of 4 municipalities: Quirusillas with 3,000, Pampa Grande with 10,000, and Mairana with almost 13,000 inhabitants, and Samaipata, the capital of the province, with 11,600 inhabitants. This province is one of the 3 provinces that is part of the so-called Cruceños Valles, or in Spanish, Valles Cruceños, along with Valle Grande, with 5 municipalities and a population of 26,000 inhabitants. Manuel Maria Caballero, composed of 2 municipalities and a population of 23,000 inhabitants, making a total of population of the Santa Cruz Valles of 88,000 inhabitants. This data is collected from the 2019 term. We should notice that the community of Samaipata has a large influx of tourism, because it is there you can find the fort of Samaipata, which is a cultural heritage of humanity, and various tourist places, whose tourism influx is approximately 5,500 people per month. It is also located on a trunk road that connects with the departments of Cochabamba and Chuquisaca, with a large influx of medium and heavy transport, since it transports a large part of the fruits, vegetables, and livestock, poultry, and construction material supply the city of Santa Cruz de la Sierra.
Hey, Sebastian, excuse me, I'm going to interrupt you for a minute. Keep in mind, we're running a little late, so you may need to expedite and get this thing covered in no more than 15 minutes, all right?
Okay, I'll try to get to the point quickly. I'm going to skip some pages, so it's going to be quick. Well, to go to the important part.
Excuse me for just a moment. We go until 1:15, so we actually have about 30 minutes left.
Oh, you do? I'm sorry. I thought you were up to 1 p.m. So okay, I didn't mean to rush it.
No.
Thank you. All right.
Usual meeting is
did you get that, Sebastian?
1:15. So
okay, should I go to the point or continue like I was doing?
Yeah, continue and let me get off here. I'll mute myself.
Okay. Well, thank you. This is a comparison among some countries of our region. This is the GDI per capita that our country produces every year. You can see that we are only above Haiti. We are not. Well, this number shows how our people live and how poor our people is in our country. You can see that our country makes $3,500 per people. That's data collected from the 2019 term, and in comparison to Peru or Brazil or Mexico, that produces almost $10,000, Our country is not very developed because of the difficult conditions we live in, or what most of the people live in. This is also data about our public health spending. Bolivia has a public spending, a percentage of public spending total of health, which is 68%. Spending on health, or basically $1,668.2 million. This corresponds to 4.42% of our GDI, or in other words, to the government, people's health cost to the government $151, in comparison to, I don't know, Brazil, which costs 389, or United Kingdom 3,000, Japan 3,500. You can see the big difference we have among other countries from the north or from other continents. This is to show how our health conditions are in our country and the needs we have, or most of the people have in this country. This province, Florida province exactly, is located to the west of the departments and is surrounded by Ichilo, Andrés Ibáñez, Cordillera, and Valle Grande. And it is the main province, where Samaipata is, so is where the main hospital is to give attention to the patients surrounding that town. It has a total estimated of inhabitants in the 3 provinces of the area of 100,000 people. So it's a lot of people to give attention in just one single hospital. This is data to show you that the nearest or the closest X-ray equipment to the health centers of the 3 provinces are the ones below. From Samaipata to the Hospital El Torno, which is outside our city, Santa Cruz, 90 kilometers away, or 2 hours by car. From Samaipata to El Bajío, 130 kilometers, or 3 hours by car. To San Juan de Dios, which is the main hospital in Santa Cruz, to attend the people from the valleys, 135 kilometers, or 3 hours by car. And the Children's Hospital as well, 135 and 3 hours by car. The other municipality, Mairana, to El Bajío, 160 or 4 hours. To the Children's Hospital, 165, also 4 hours. And to El Torno, 130, 2.5 hours by car. And the Valle Grande, to other main hospital in the city, the Japanese hospital, 260 kilometers, or 5 hours by car. And one last municipality, which is Comarapa, to the Japanese hospital, as well, 5 hours by car. The Florida hospital is surrounded by 5 other health centers. The biggest one, Health Center Santiago del Valle, which gives attention 24 hours from Monday to Sunday. Bella Victoria, 8 hours a day from Monday to Friday. Cuevas, Bermejo, and Ramon Ferran, which also give 8 hours of attention and from Monday to Friday. All these health centers are connected to the Florida hospital, and if they cannot give attention to their patients, they send them to this hospital, and if Florida cannot give them attention, the Florida hospital have to send them all to El Torno, to El Bajío, or to San Juan de Dios, depending on the emergency they have. This is statistical data that make the equipment of X-ray very necessary. Every year, they have a TBI or traumatic brain injuries series, which is of people with between 6 months and 59 years old. A number of cases every year, 250, and they have to be referred to Children's Hospital or the San Juan de Dios in order to get a surgery or a traumatology treatment. The same for TBI moderate, polycontusions, fractures or heart failures. In this case, they have 160 cases. They have to be referred also to San Juan de Dios or El Bajío to get an internal medicine. Pneumonia, acute abdomen, intestinal obstruction, respiratory insufficiency, and tuberculosis, and also the most popular illness now, COVID-19. References to other health establishments by Diagnosis Management 2019. During this year, a total of 2,205 patients were referred to other facilities with greater capacity in the Department of Santa Cruz, both for the internal medicine and surgery services who required X-rays as a complementary examination. In this management, the unified health system was in operation, so the influx of patients has been increasing throughout the management, and due to the previous indications regarding the population. This data is corresponding to the internal information from the Florida hospital. What are their needs? Talking about the Chagas disease, which is a common illness in that region, to get an early detection of a heart disease or heart enlargement, to receive timely treatment, preventing complications, to avoid pacemaker placement, and detection of an enlarged intestine due to the complication of this Chagas disease. Multiple trauma, traffic accidents, work accidents, accidents in general, detection of bone fractures throughout the body, detection of lung diseases such as pneumonia, tuberculosis, lung scars caused by other diseases, fluid in the lungs, and obviously COVID-19. This will be a benefit for low-income people who cannot travel to health facilities with greater capacity to receive an early diagnosis, and thus to avoid complications due to the time spent traveling. As you saw in some pages before, they have to travel 3 to 5 hours by car to hospitals with greater capacity. And this also will be a benefit for the entire affluent population of the area, as well as the internal and external tourism population. And in this page, you can see patients who reach physical, motor, and multiple disabilities due to not having a diagnostic method by image or X-ray because of the lack of financial resources. For example, disabilities like intellectual, 86 cases, auditive 62, physical motor 205, multiple 97, or psychological 12 cases. The objective of this grant is to improve access to radiology services at Florida Hospital and the entire area of influence, to provide an X-ray equipment to Florida Hospital that allows a more precise diagnosis. Respiratory disease such as pneumonia, COVID-19, tuberculosis, etc. Detection of heart and gastrointestinal disorders caused by Chagas disease. Treat and diagnose fractures and multiple injuries due to accidents that will benefit local population, carriers for being a very rough road, and tourists who flock to the area. Also to allow a better connection with more specialized health centers to remotely review and evaluate more complex diagnoses, and to train medical personnel in the detection, proper diagnosis, and in the operation of this equipment. What tangible benefits will it bring to the Samaipata community and the surrounding communities? For example, it will decrease death due to lack of diagnosis, early diagnosis, and timely treatment. The improvement in rehabilitation, avoid the bone malformations due to poorly treated fractures, reduction of economic expenditure in the affluent population. This will benefit 20,000 people of direct access close to the health center, or basically people who live in the town, and 80,000 people from the area of influence, such as tourists or people who live in municipalities surrounding Samaipata. Among the inhabitants of the Florida province, Valle Grande, and Manuel Maria Caballero. What's its sustainability? The Mayor's Office of the Community of Samaipata committed by memorandum to provide a doctor's item for the operation of the equipment, including its annual operating budget, the reserve necessary for the maintenance of the equipment, and the purchase of supplies for it. The construction of the X-ray room under standards approved by the Ministry of Health regarding the operability of this type of equipment. The local providers will furnish the training of the equipment operations, technical assistance, maintenance, and provision of spare parts. Will be in charge of the company HP Medical, which is a leading company with long history in the area of health equipment for at least 5 years. This is the agreement that the Rotary clubs participating in this grant have with the Samaipata's Town Hall. This is the agreement to start building the X-ray room in the hospital. An administrative resolution to make public the project. And the most important thing, our financing. This project has a budget of $72,600, which is finance already of 15,000. And we have some contributions of DDF and cash from international clubs and other districts. For example, from the Rotary Club of Samaipata, we have $1,000 of cash. I'm sorry, $1,050. From the Rotary Club of Grigotá, $575. From the district 4690, 2,000. The district 4420, 2,000 as well. Cash coming from the Rotary Club of St. Catherine's, 1,050. From the district 7090, 1,000, and from the Rotary Club of East Fresno, $1,575. This is the quantity we have already financed, which is 15,000. And these are the clubs participating in the grants. Our club, Rotary Club of Bogotá, the Rotary Club of Samaipata, and the Club of East Fresno, which is represented by our friend Esteban Pauli. Thank you for your attention. If there is any question, we're able to respond to anything.
Salite de la presentación, Sebastián. Está la pantalla. Okay, folks, now's the time to ask your questions.
What
Yeah.
exactly is the equipment that's being purchased? I didn't see a list of anywhere or pictures or anything. Are we talking about just standard X-ray equipment?
I didn't get the question.
¿Me puede traducir, por favor, Sebastián?
Pregunta cuál es el tipo de equipo que van a pedir. ¿Es un equipo estándar de rayos X o alguna especificación o qué?
Sí, es un equipo totalmente digital con conexión a internet, totalmente moderno, y es de 5.000 miliamperes, que da
Okay.
una excelente resolución de imágenes que permite detectar tanto enfermedades como del pulmón, como fracturas, como múltiples enfermedades.
Yeah, so basically it's a conventional, X-ray equipment, except that it's a high resolution and it's set up for internet access, automatic access, so that the idea is that this is serving a large geographic area. So there's a number of hospitals, right, that are 2 hours driving distance and so forth and so on, and none of these hospitals actually have an X-ray machine, right? So just by setting one piece of equipment at this location, the X-ray information can be shared, with multiple other hospitals around the area. So that's kind of the goal. Mm-hmm. And if I may add briefly, our club is Fresno Rotary. We have a long-term, relationship, friendships, and a number of projects we've done with the Grigota Club in Bolivia. I've been in Bolivia myself about 3 years ago with a group of young people from our club. They had a eye cataract surgery project where we contributed some funds, and we had a group of professional people join during the trip and get to know their culture. And then we hosted the people from Bolivia coming back to Fresno. And we've done a number of projects over the years. We also had another one having to do with COVID, not long ago. And it's kind of an ongoing relationship. The good thing is that we have firsthand knowledge of their dedication and their commitment to make these things happen. It's not easy, they have to reach out to multiple clubs around the world to really get the funding they need, but they have a record of doing the things, So anyway.
I have a question. How
Sure.
much money do you need and how much money do you have committed so far?
Yeah, so the total budget is $72,000. That's a round number I'm giving you, 72,000, and they have 15,000 so far. Mm-hmm.
Now, is this just for the X-ray machine, or is it for the X-ray room? Is it the whole?
The government, the local government. That's kind of the final documents you were sharing towards the end of the presentation. There's agreement. There's formal agreements with the local government where they will be basically providing the room, supplies, the medical doctors, and all the other necessary components to make this thing work. Yeah.
Okay, so the 72,000 is just for the X-ray machine?
It's for the X-ray machine, and I'm assuming there's some import duties and installation, expenses and so forth and so on, right? Yeah. But it's basically to get it going, pretty much, right?
Okay.
Esteban, si le puedes
Sí.
contar, esta
Sí.
máquina, aparte, no está explicado en el proyecto, pero va a tener una comunicación a internet con hospitales de primer nivel, cosas, si hay algún tema de contusión, algún sistema, algún problema grave, se va a poder hacer teleconsultas, ¿no? Y el mismo comunidad de Samaipata, el gobierno de Samaipata va a proveer un internet también de seguridad para que este equipo pueda hacer teleconsultas, digamos, ¿no?
Livio, otra preguntita para vos que hacían recién. Eso, los $72,000, ¿es para el equipo en sí o hay algún otro gasto que esté incluido ahí?
Solo es equipamiento y entrenamiento.
Okay, yeah. So Livio just confirmed that the $72,000 is for the equipment, and it's also some necessary training that is required to get these things set up properly. He also mentioned that not only they have capabilities of sharing the information with the regional hospitals, but they also have capabilities to reach out to other facilities where there's more advanced capabilities to diagnose and do consulting, with other physicians. So that's kind of the technology that's being implemented. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, any more questions? Now's your chance. Okay, well, Esteban, at our last board meeting, due to Helen's persuasive presentation,
Yeah.
the board has approved a $500 grant from our Rotary Club to help you in the purchase of this, pledge of it.
Right.
And, when you gather everything together, we'll be there for $500. And maybe you'll make a presentation next year and there'll be more money available, but we'll see. But
Yeah.
we've got 500 for now. And
That's
we'll certainly be a supporter of your program, and we're glad to participate in it.
all right. Well, that's fantastic. Thank you very much. Let me share this briefly with Livio. Livio, han aprobado $500 para el proyecto en este momento. Okay.
Bueno, lo que es importante, Esteban,
Mm-hmm.
es que le preguntes también si hay posibilidad que su distrito o su club pueda pedir fondos distritales para apoyar el proyecto.
Yeah, well, Livio says, thank you very much. And he's also asking if it would be possible for your club to reach out to your district and see if they could provide, district designated funds or any other funding that could help, move this thing forward. So that's to be determined, I guess.
Well, it's certainly something we could reach out to the district and see if the district has any interest in pursuing this and try to convince them that it's a worthwhile project. I suppose we could also reach out to other Rotary clubs within our district and see if they would support this. There's something like 20 clubs in Orange County, so we have a lot of clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a question there, James, I think.
Yeah, Fred?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't see my chat?
I did not.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll commit a match of $500 to whatever the Rotary Club. So we just boosted it to 1,000.
Nice.
Well,
Now,
that's
somebody else has got to come in with $50 so we can match the other Rotary Club.
that's fantastic. Thank you very much. Helen is raising her hand too.
Gracias mille por presentation excelente. I don't really speak Spanish, sorry.
Muy bien. Gracias.
Dick and I would like to make a $200 contribution along with this.
Wow, that's excellent. So Livio, James ha sumado $500 más y Helen y su marido han sumado $200 más por su cuenta. Así que todo eso se va a sumar a la contribución del club. All right.
Well, the Andersons have come up with $200, so I guess the other Andersons have got to come up with another $200. So we'll match the Dick and Helen Andersons with John and Fred Andersons.
Well, thank you very much. So Fred también está sumando $200 más. Así que Fred Anderson, sí.
Estaríamos en 1,400, ¿puede ser?
1,400.
Okay.
Lori and John
Yeah.
match the 500 as well.
You guys are going to be a Fresno Rotary at this point. You're going to be that. That's good. I like the competition.
Well, it's kind of like
Really.
find outbid each other.
Yeah. No, truly, thank you very much. I like I said, I'm a third generation Rotarian. I lived in Argentina for many years, but I had an opportunity to go with Rotary to Bolivia, and the poverty, it's really, it's a real problem, So any contribution is really, really helpful.
Well, thank you, Roger. That was very nice. That was Roger that said the 500, wasn't it?
It's James.
It was James.
James Conway.
James.
And Lori and Jonathan said 500.
Say again.
Oh,
Oh, Jonathan, okay. Okay, so we got Jonathan for 500, James for 500.
Lori.
Lori,
wow.
sorry, Lori and Jonathan for 500. We got James for 500. We've
And
got
then multiple Andersons for another 400.
And Fred and Jan for 200. So it's turning out pretty good here.
Well,
Esteban,
sí.
vamos a cargar esto que es la contribución de ellos en el presupuesto del proyecto y se lo vamos a mandar por mail a Helen para que ellos ya vean que son partes del proyecto.
Yeah. So please send us a summary of the contributions, and then they're going to be able to include that on their presentation package for other, clubs, so people can see the progress. And of course, they'll share that with your club as well. So we're all on the same page. That's fantastic.
Maybe we'll get some other clubs in Orange County to try to beat us in the competition. So, it's a competitive group here in Rotary. So
yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, that's great.
I think this is a great project. When Helen first mentioned it, I got excited about it. But Helen does such great work in Guatemala and now Bolivia. So we're glad to get behind this program, and it's it's a good program. It's something we can do on a local level that helps a local club in Bolivia. It's kind of what Rotary does on an individual club basis, helps individual clubs in other countries, and it works. It's really a win-win. We get to see what's done with our money, and you get to tell us what it accomplished in your area, and we feel more involved, and it's it's not like giving $1,000 to the Red Cross. Who knows where it goes? So
yeah. May I share my screen in a certain way here for a second?
Sure.
Let me see if I can do this here.
There you go.
Are you able to see my screen now? All right. So yeah, this is a project we did about 3 years ago, is Fresno Rotary. And you can see behind this board here, there's a number of clubs, from the US, and there's some clubs from Italy and Argentina are not, well, they're behind this gentleman here. But that's Mr. Zozzolli, myself, the president at that time. And these are the doctors that contributed, their time and their effort to do this cataract surgeries, right? So they did cataract surgeries for, I don't know, I think over 200 people at the time. So again, they do have a good history of getting these projects, done. So that's a little bit of the geographic area where we visited. And, just a little bit of a taste for Bolivia.
Nice.
Anyway, all right. So anyway, I'll just leave that alone.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Does anybody else have any more questions? We're approaching the 1:15 hour, and if somebody else has any questions, now's the time to ask. Otherwise, I'm going to gong the meeting to a close with my bell here.
But I have a question, Jonathan. Are you looking at are there any potential grants or other organizations possibly that, I mean, it is a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money, for an organization or a grant to get to pay, for the whole thing. I mean, it's great that Rotary's doing it in, $1,000 and $2,000 pops here and there, but there must be some place to reach out to that can provide the equipment, or, I mean, the World Health Organization. I mean, there must be private foundations that, maybe could be reached out to. Have you come across any of those?
That's a good point, but I'm not aware of other organizations. But I will certainly share that with Livio and everybody else. Livio, le pregunté si hay algunas otras organizaciones fuera de Rotary que ustedes conozcan que puedan participar también, ¿no? Ya sea en Estados Unidos o fuera. Do you mean in the States or
both, anywhere?
Both. Yeah, anywhere. All right. Sí, él dice Estados Unidos o cualquier otro lugar del mundo si hubiera otras organizaciones que pudieran participar.
There's some people named the Gates that have a big foundation.
Yeah, yeah. Hay a veces fundaciones privadas, ¿verdad? Que tienen mucho dinero. No te oigo, Livio, estás mudo.
Lamentablemente te quiero decir que no tengo contactos.
Okay.
Y no tengo contactos, y todos los proyectos de equipamientos para hospitales que se han hecho en Bolivia, todos se han hecho con clubes rotarios y distritos apoyando en DDF. O sea, no conozco que haya participado una ONG. Si ellos podrían darnos un contacto y nosotros hacer una presentación, sería muy bueno.
Yeah, so Livio doesn't really have contacts with other organizations. The history in their region in Bolivia, there's been a number of programs that have been done with through Rotary over the years, but they don't have an affiliation with a different group. So if anybody has some affiliation or access, would be welcome to reach out to them as well. Mm-hmm.
Okay, if anybody has anything else they want to contribute or ask, now is the chance to do it. Okay, hearing nothing, I'd like to welcome Leo back to our group. Thank you, Leo, for attending. It's good to see you. And also James. We're very glad that Esteban and Livio and Sebastian could join us for this presentation. I certainly enjoyed it, and I'm sure everybody else did too. It seems that we were quite moved by it, by the money that we've raised here. And we'll work on the logistics of putting the money together at our next board meeting. In any event, I'd like to thank everybody for attending this meeting, another very interesting meeting, a very interesting Rotary presentation. And I'm really pleased with Helen and Dick for putting this together. And as always, Richard Rubin for putting our speakers together for our weekly meetings. I'm really pleased. Helen, one more thing.
Well, we couldn't do this without Gary. He's the glue that keeps us all together. And so thank you and happy Thanksgiving to all of you.
Yes, thank you, Gary, our Canadian.
Thank you, Gary.
All right, everybody.
Right.
Next week, same bat time, same bat station. We will see you then. A week from
Thanks,
Thursday.
you guys. Great presentation.
Thank you all. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, con Dios.
Bye.